Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Price. Interesting energy focus this month. It feels more different than what I'm used to. Of course, Arion, the Lyran Council of Time, is guiding us with a focus each month that continues to build our connection, which is the overall energies of the year. And we've been in a recent readjustment of our mental flow, and that assists us with more clarity, more amplification of your divine creative power, or working the light of the human experience to support more loving flow instead of the disempowerment narratives that have shaped this experience for a long time. It is time, as you know, for the loving ones to get their energy into this world. You, creative, sacred being. Now, as we build on connections so that our electromagnetic flow, our heart-mind complex is more coherent and powerful, the energy focus this month is polarity connecting. And I'm going to talk about what I'm being shown as the energetic changes that are occurring in our physicality. But overall, this month feels like an integration phase. The main focus is being, allowing integration to occur, polarity connecting. Because there is a lot of integration that's occurring right now. And so relaxing into that, being, that is very important right now. And of course, I'll be layering last month's information here too, because that just keeps coming back. So if you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend that you do that, because we are continuing to move through Gabriel's horn from last month that originally began coming up in 2020. But let's dive into polarity connecting. I was first shown this as two parallel vertical lines through the head, kind of like an 11, which is a nice little synchronicity. We've got resting 11 face. There are actually axiotonal lines that go right through the head that are parallel like that. But the vision that I was shown stayed like that for many days. And then over time, I was shown those vertical lines starting to pull into curving flow. And the first change that I was shown was connecting triangular connections, especially toward the throat, though it was much more intricate than that. And again, this is mimicking some of the axiotonal lines. Then I was also shown this curving spherical flow around the top of the head, so that as those two straight lines were connecting, I was seeing some of the detailed core geometries, and then I was seeing some of the effect of the geometries. So our geometric foundation is amplifying and shifting. And I was sometimes shown this as like a modified tree of life structure with the curvature on the top, amplified by that strength of the mouth opening, that diamond octahedron that creates that halo glow above the head and below, or that heart-mind coherence, that crown and heart. Even though the throat is showing more of the triangular geometries or the core geometries that meet in the physical. So again, watch last month's video if you haven't already. I've been talking about Egypt a lot throughout this year, especially the opening of the mouth, how that zeal point chakra is shifting. That to me feels like the 0 point chakra. Zep Tepi has also been coming up a lot lately, and Zep Tepi means first time or beginning. And this is part of why I'm feeling so much of an integration phase occurring, because the Zep Tepi is deeply related to this and what Arion has been calling our tri-wave brain flow, where we integrate over time the 4D on a physical level. And I will detail what I mean directly by that more in a bit, because there's a lot of different definitions out there. It doesn't mean it's the only thing that's occurring, but there's some very specific ways that they're showing this as it pertains to our physicality right now. The physical body, mainly the heart-mind complex or the portal, is coming online more deeply, and this creates the shifting of that tri-wave brain flow that is less duality-based. It's the activating of Gabriel's horn within you, the heralding of the word of creation, the sound of creation more powerfully through you. It heralds the resurrection of the end of linear time, which is just an integration of spherical time, or those spirals connected. And that center point of that connection is the 0 point, or the beginning, the Zep Tepi. And it doesn't mean that linear time goes away. It means that our physicality is integrating the spherical flow of time, and therefore more resonant with the super consciousness or the connected self. And this is a resonance experience, which has always been the case with your creative power. You create and you flow based on your resonance. So relax into the creative power and you become more neutral, not uncaring or inactive, neutral, more resonant with the powerful bridge that connects opposites, that neutron with the proton and the electron, or that neutrality that connects opposites, that bridges duality, that aligns your consciousness with higher or more connected consciousness. That is the power of polarity connecting. We are bridging the polarity of linearity into more connection or transcending duality, even while we're still within it. And what I meant by 4D integration is the integration of time, which is connected to this linearity. It's our fourth dimensional expression, or the rules that help us bridge from third density, which is a container of certain rules of expression, into fourth density, which is a container of different rules of connection. And so we're transcending, even while we're still in physical density, to more of a resonance away from separation or understanding life only through the experience of separation, which is what third density is, we're bridging into fourth density, which is a deeper understanding of that connection. And this is what ascension is all about. Embodying that conscious connection that life is, even while we are within the experience of separation. This connects us into universal law, and we experience the laws of this physical density, like linear space and time, through that lens of connection. And that helps you integrate your understanding and your usage of the subtle realm rules, like the law of resonance, as you're creating in this realm. That deepens your understanding of the sacred sound or the sacred creator, the sacred word that you are. And what I'm being shown this month, as it not only builds specifically on last month, but as it builds through time, is the energetic structure of our physicality is starting to support our connection more directly. This is polarity connecting. Now, let's talk about what this means and how it might show up in your life. What it means is that there is a natural flow, a natural pull, like the spiral, that is connecting polarity. Go with the flow more. Relax into change more. This is why Ariane has said the spiral is speeding up. That's where your resistance is no longer supported in the same ways and going with the flow. Even though you are still in an active creative state, you're still taking actions. Relaxing into that change more helps you tap into those universal laws. Be in a state like Ariane said in the post from September, a meditative state, a creative state, or a neutral observant state, that when you recognize that you are moving through those more consciously, even throughout experiences in life that don't feel very meditative or they don't feel like creative, like painting, recognizing that it is a creative state because you are deeply embodied in your present moment. That's that neutral observance. Neutral observance is a constant state of awareness, that first pillar of ascension, that you in life are in constant communication. So read the clues of life because it's always supporting your transformation. This is a natural process that we're experiencing that integrates through time. Now, how the energy of polarity connecting may show up in your life. Synchronicities, of course, as you're naturally aligning and life is showing you connection. It's showing you that broader flow of connection. It might show up in things that seem very separate or obvious polarity, something that Ariane has been talking about since 2016, that you would start to see more of a polarity shift within humanity. Polarity connecting also might show up in things that seem like resolution or connection of something that seemed separate. So it may be things that are surprising turns or unexpected changes. And this is what I meant earlier by many things are integrating now. Loose ends are tying up. Collective issues are being brought to the surface. Things in your own personal life, there's a lot more purging that's occurring. Cycles are ending and beginning. Opposites are connecting. All of these themes that we've talked about throughout the year. And you as a light worker may be more aware of the universal rules that are at play in the physical or the infinite within the finite. And hopefully you're also more aware of getting your energy into your life through being, even though you still take action. That's part of physical linearity, but with more conscious awareness of your subtle bridge, your thoughts, emotions, and intentions, with more conscious awareness of the infinite flowing through you. And the upcoming transmission, it was a fascinating, direct, and strong, almost rhythmic activation. I was feeling so much occurring in the head and the throat, especially creating more neutrality through the throat and the back of the head. A lot of left-right brain activity as that ongoing tri-wave flow is supporting us. A lot of activation in the frontal lobe because that subconscious and conscious mind are connecting into the superconscious. These are really powerful times, and it's a natural evolution. Relax into it. Observe with neutrality and be the love that you are, the infinite, divine, creative flow that is natural, that is who you are. I hope you have a wonderful 11/11 and November, and enjoy the crystalline soul healing and light language.
Pram neerut ua, prem neer ut ma, pram gnam krantat im brorim na, pram hat ar kroret, prem nustaherot urukor kreat antits du jam. Bram Krimahni eret et ad urukrol redan. Bremahni et urutsuk kwarm ansharat unum branat erut ukuarat kral hernadat et such am krorem. Krum hem anjot hat ine et sakrand. Krem hat idet el urnur ma bem orut ani ad sukrorem. Ber onot ukwarm krem hekteret et inene Rama kred ano horem sunun shor makrandat aerod uot sum chairma brem kroret al renene kwa him churkramat kremat det ornat lal brem knandat in such kroretanti it inma Tomma bremak endat krum hariatat inot sum chairoko kuam bramak ornat en suchurumat mnem braleretat sukurat kanan sharat anum bramahat inet san chairokortand bramahat inin such tait kral renanet such ayakort okwaram bram kral renan Sun short hakerat and orma nenot brahma tamma oturut such grandot hurmat mdaudet grel renandot brahma hor namatsat krem shur kanandat kandat nahrut kwam wama su shairot kwam kani hiritat kurma tend onum bremhat kwa kanan shair dakrandat ham broratit such kwam Wrema su